Alright, so in this video, we're gonna take your lighting from this to this. Alright, let's get into it. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is turn off all the lights, because this is kind of like painting, but with light. So you'll wanna start with your completely blank canvas like this. And so the first thing you're gonna wanna start with is the key light. Now you'll want this key light to be about 45 degrees from your subject. It should evenly light at one half of the face and then give you sort of a nice upside down triangle on the opposite side of their cheek. Now this is called Rembrandt lighting that the artist Rembrandt used in all of his paintings. After this, we'll want to decide whether or not we want to have a fill light. In my setup, I do. And that light will go on the other side. Now I actually have this light over here just a little bit warmer than this light. I kind of just like the look. That's a personal preference of mine, but I highly recommend that when you set up your lights, you get lights that are bicolored so you can change between the different color temperatures. You can make it cooler or warmer. And now that we've got that done, we're gonna move on to the rim light. The rim light I have mounted almost directly above me, actually slightly behind, and then pointed to sort of light my back, and this will give me sort of like a highlighted outline, which will separate me as the subject from the background. This is kind of dark, isn't it? Bring it up in post. My face is kind of greasy looking. Now this rim light can also be, called a hair light because it kind of, you'll normally mount. Now this rim light can also be called a hair light because normally it will be mounted above the subject and sort of highlight the hair here, as you can see, and help add that little bit of separation and depth to your image. The farther that you can separate yourself or your subject from that back wall, the more depth that you can add to your image, and that's what makes it look super nice. And since we are lighting the background, you would want your zones to be separate. Now mine are a little bit closer than I would like, so some of my light from here is actually spilling on the background back there. So some of my lights from this zone lighting me are actually spilling onto the background. But as you can see right now, I am fairly separated from the background, and you can tell that I am the subject of the image. And these are what I'm going to be using to light the background. If you want to see a review on these, I actually have that video up on my channel. I'll link it above. And I just have both of these set to my channel colors. I'm going to point them in opposite directions as they light that back wall. So this wall behind me is pretty boring. Like the only thing I actually have is this shelf with a wooden camera on it that is actually hidden by my head, which is not great. But normally you'll want something back there to add a little bit of texture. You can add some practical lights, and practical lights are just lights that you see in the shot. And so if I wanted to, I could actually have these lights visible in the background like this, and that way you see where the light is coming from. Anyway, that just about wraps up this video. Lighting your YouTube videos professionally is super simple. You could actually take out two of these lights that I'm actually using. You don't actually need this fill light. You could have a reflector or a white wall on this side that will reflect light onto your face to fill out your face a little bit if you want to. And then of course the lights in the back, we could just have one, but I like the bicolor look that I get by having two different lights. And again, if you want to check out those lights, I'll have a link to them in the description. So if you're looking for a nice set of cheap RGB lights, I think these were $30 a piece. They're super bright, and I definitely plan on using them in a bunch of projects coming up. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I can't currently in my setup, oops, you can see my pillow. Oh, secret's out. I filmed these in my bedroom.